do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes.
Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. You're watching the Hot Seat live at Social Media Shows. I am your host, Priscilla Moy, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in and watching us and supporting us every single week. Every week here, I have some new guests that you may or may not have met from other TV shows, but they come here on my show, and they're able to tell a story of what they do, why they do it, and what keeps them motivated. I know a lot of you guys are always inspired by what you see, what you hear, and it inspires you to also be on camera like this as well. I do not only interview people in entertainment, even though Las Vegas is known for that. I also do things like politics, small businesses, chef, cuisine, all things that make Las Vegas what it is. And we also get some amazing people from outside of Las Vegas as well, which means we are doing some amazing things with our marketing reach. So if you guys are really interested in being on a show like this, please wait till the end of this episode and I will tell you what email that is to send your headshot and your bios. But as always, we have an amazing show today, so don't go anywhere. Grab your drinks, grab your lunch, and make sure to stay tuned because after the break, we're going to jump into our first guest for today. So I will see you then.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Hi guys, and welcome back. You're watching The Hot Seat live in real time here at the Social Media Shows studio. We are the only show in Las Vegas that goes live in real time, so that makes us different from everybody else, and we love that you guys are here watching that and realize what sets us apart from everyone here in the city. So we're gonna jump right into our first guest. He is a comedian, he's a host, he's big on social media, he has all things going on, and we are gonna learn about that right now. So everyone, please welcome Lex Las Vegas. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Please take a seat. So welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Priscilla.
Of course. Thank you for coming into the studio. So you market a lot of Las Vegas in general. All of your pages are all about Las Vegas. You do a lot of things, not only, partying, what makes Las Vegas, but you interview all things, all events, all things that are happening here in Las Vegas. Tell me where that idea came from that you want to solely focus on this amazing city.
Well, I'm originally from New York, and I came out here with a friend of mine that had a VIP services business that he had going. Mm-hmm. And through that, I really saw the best parts of Las Vegas, right? The best nightclubs, the best restaurants, the best entertainment, and the full potential of what could happen here. And from that point on, I just focused what I was doing on Las Vegas. And it has become my home, and that is what I broadcast for everybody else to enjoy.
So in New York, obviously we can hear the accent. There's a different vibe from the East Coast. Me,
Absolutely.
myself, I'm from Chicago. So when you came here, did you feel like you really felt right at home?
I definitely felt right at home because I found out that New York in many ways still ran Las Vegas in terms of the nightclubs and the actual management personnel. So many of the people that were in power positions were people that we had connections with from New York. So people always ask me, how come you've been in Las Vegas for so long but you still have your accent? Well, it's because I'm always around New Yorkers. Mm-hmm. So it's never going away.
You don't want to lose that anyway.
It's never going away.
It sets you apart.
It's it,
yeah.
forever.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love when you're from a city and you represent that city,
yeah.
Right? So what is it about Las Vegas, the party scene, doing what you did that brought you out here that you love so much?
Well, I think that it was just organic in my life, what was happening in my life, and that led me to that. But to answer your question best, I would say that I really realized that answer during the pandemic, during the shutdown, when everything in Las Vegas was completely closed, and everything that had been happening organically, all of the tourism that was connected to people I knew, all the weddings and bachelor parties and groups that we were just a part of over the years, just naturally, all was gone. And that energy, the void of spending that time with people, the camaraderie, the creating of memories, having people say, best time I ever had in my life, like those were things that we didn't even appreciate until they were gone. And now it was just a thing where we have to recreate that. And we would start recreating it. We're having small underground shows, speakeasy style during the pandemic. And that's why I fell in love with comedy, because that was the expression in those moments of the craziness that's going on around us. Whether you agree with the right or the left side, or you're in the middle, or you're unsure, you can find the humor in some of the things that we deal with every day, and it's also a great coping mechanism.
Right. So when people think of places to go on vacation, they go to party cities, Miami, Ibiza, they go on cruises, they do all these things. But why do you feel, because you're representing Vegas, that we should maintain, being the top spot for people to come and visit?
Well, I've been to both of those places. I partied in Ibiza, and I partied in Miami many times. And for me, Vegas is the best because it incorporates so many elements in such a concentrated package, right? All these other places, they have a different vibe. And it's not until you go and you experience vibes places that you really understand that you can create a Vegas environment somewhere else, but it's not Vegas until it has the Vegas energy. The energy makes it.
Yeah. Where is your favorite place to go? If someone were to ask you, okay, give me your top spot.
People always ask me this.
Right.
My favorite club, my favorite hotel. What are you asking exactly?
If someone just said they didn't know, right, to decipher. Okay, let's just say I'm not from here. They just say, hey, I got one night. Where am I going?
Okay, I get asked this question all the time because I create experiences for people. And I always build it out custom. So if you were to ask me that, where would you go? I would say, who are you going to be with? What is on your agenda? Because you, with your significant other, is going to be a different plan than I would put together if it was you on a bachelorette party or you with your family. So first I would get like the specifics of what you got going, and then I would build that around that, because I know how to have the best time in each of those scenarios. It's a different hotel and a different experience for every trip. So that's the beauty of Vegas, because it really can fit anything.
Mm-hmm. So now moving to comedy, how long have you been a stand-up comedian for?
Almost 2 years now.
Okay. And what about comedy really speaks to you apart from bringing people together? I'm sure there's another passion that you have in there.
The creativity of it.
Okay.
Because basically every single person every day deals with funny situations in relatable life, right? But to be able to take that, shape it into something that we can all enjoy and laugh at, that's where the skill comes. And then also to be able to deliver that in a digestible way that everybody actually reacts to in the desired way, rolling on the floor laughing, right? That's the skill. And to be able to do that and share that with people, I enjoy it so much. I think because of the therapeutic factor on both ends, right? We all deal with nonsense every single day. It's unavoidable. And we all have to cope with it. So laughing is a way to do that. And it's therapeutic for me to help others, and it's therapeutic for them to laugh.
Right. Have you had any writing experience prior to doing stand-up?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I was always into music. I wrote a lot of music. I was in New York during the hip hop explosion in the 90s. So I'm very much a writer of music and rhymes, and I can freestyle, and as well as just being a wordsmith in general. So I love writing. I love creating, and all of these elements come together in comedy because there's so many forms of comedy, right? You have script writing, you have movies, you have TV, you have stand-up, you have Saturday Night Live style sketches. So I love it all.
So I noticed I watched some of your stuff online and doing my research, and I know you have roasted a lot of people that are coming to watch the show. How do you know where to draw that line? Being roasting for fun, for comedy, because obviously there's a crowd of people and you're singling someone out. And how do you know what that line is?
I think that's what makes it so exciting. Because there really is no exact answer to knowing where the line is other than feeling it out. And the audience gets to enjoy watching, you feel it out. Because it's true that you might go over the line and somebody might say, hey, I don't like that. But that's where the creation of comedy comes, where you can find a way to take somebody who maybe you offended for a moment, roll it back and make them laugh, right? To take something that maybe is borderline and still make it humorous. So I think that that's what makes it exciting. And my favorite comedians in Vegas, they walk that line all the way to the edge. And seeing if they're going to go over the edge is part of what makes it so exciting.
And who are you inspired by? From a list of all the people that are huge in comedy, right? They got specials everywhere on these streaming channels and they go on tours. Who really stands out to you?
Some of the old school guys, you know, Eddie Murphy, old school. One of his things that really inspired me was his role in Beverly Hills Cop, that character. The concept of using your mouth and using your verbal game to open doors that are closed initially, right? So, no, you can't come in here. Well, actually, and you talk your way into it. I love that. And then I also love all types of sketch comedy. So the Saturday Night Live guys, from Rob Schneider, Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, all those guys. I love all that creation of sketch comedy, as well as Dave Chappelle and what he was doing with the Chappelle Show, as well as with his stand-up. So to me, and I can't leave out Adam Sandler, what he's done with all the movies. Love that guy. So all of that, there's so many forms of comedy that, you know, and they all do multiple forms of it. So those guys have all inspired me greatly.
So what kind of mark do you want to leave on the comic world? I'm assuming you want this to go pretty long. You want to make your mark and your place in the world of comedy. And what is that for you?
Well, I think that comedy is going to be part of life until life is over for me, because comedy is incorporated with life. And it's one of those things where my goal would be to keep growing as a comedian, growing my comedy, and trying to help people through that, through the creation of enjoyable events and also, you know, therapeutic comedy that's relatable. So we talk about things that maybe some people aren't always comfortable with, that they go through in their real life. And they need somebody to tell a story about how they dealt with it, or that you're not alone, and these are the elements of comedy that I've seen from all these guys that we've mentioned. So eventually I would love to be in a situation where I can do like some kind of an Adam Sandler thing where we create movies and so many creative people would be together involved in that concept, and it would be also geared towards some kind of therapeutic benefit for just people in general, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to focus on one group. Because when it comes to stress and nonsense in life, we all deal with it. It doesn't matter your religion, your sexual orientation, your pronouns. We all deal with nonsense, right? So if we can all have a good time and cope with it and get some therapy out of it, that's the goal.
Have you toured? I mean, apart from doing Las Vegas stuff, have you gone to other cities?
I haven't been on tour yet. I have done some comedy outside of Vegas.
Okay.
But I have so much going on here in Vegas, and Vegas is such a hub of everything going on that, you know, I haven't really even gotten the chance or even tried to venture out so much. But I am going on November 11th to Minnesota. We have a fight group out there that we work hand in hand with called the Ignite Fight Group, and they're putting together a big MMA event that I'll be doing social media and color commentary and comedy around and involved with that. So like I said, it's not just one avenue, it's also branches out into other arts, music, MMA, and other things like that.
Yeah, the reason why I asked is mostly because I would love to get your perspective on how you handle switching audiences. Because like Vegas has such a different culture and vibe with people, even if all their audience are locals. But if you go somewhere like Utah, or you go to Iowa, or you go to Kentucky, some jokes like you can and can't. How do you deal with that as a performer?
I think that when I was first in Vegas doing the VIP thing, I really learned how to do that, because even though I was always in Vegas, the people that I was dealing with were always changing. So it was a group from Minnesota, it was a group from Utah, it was a group from here. So I learned how to relate to everybody and what everybody relates to on a baseline. So it's the same thing whether they're coming here or I'm going there. I'm going to talk about things they can relate to. I know the area. I learned how to know from where you're from, what teams you like, what the culture is, just from hosting them here. So I'll do the same kind of thing anywhere that I went and relate to what they got going on with relatable things that we could all relate to.
Right. So Las Vegas, you love it. You know, all of us clearly are finding great things about it. But outside of here, there's always a stigma about Las Vegas that